Well, good morning. Welcome to American Reversion. I'm Steve Smith. It is Monday, January 31st, 2022. We have a lot to cover today. Welcome to all of you this morning, and especially welcome to all of the new subscribers. I see that we continue to grow both on YouTube and over on Patreon. If you want to know the difference between what's on YouTube and on Patreon, is everything that we do on YouTube we put on Patreon too. But then we put a lot of extra stuff over there that's that really covers things that we can't really cover a lot here. So thank you all, and thank you for your support. If you wonder how you can support this channel, Patreon is probably the thing to do. We don't have any levels or anything like that. It's just, a basic $1. And I see that we have a lot of people pledging more. Thank you very much. I don't ask for it. It's certainly not necessary. You'll get the same amount of information no matter what you pledge. But if you want to be a part of the fight, that came out sounding like if you don't do it, you're not part of the fight. And that's not what I mean at all. If you want to help with what we're doing here, that's a way to do it. Pledge your $1 or whatever, and we certainly appreciate it. I just put up a couple of things over there that are indicative of what I'm talking about. This is, and we have a lot to cover today. I'm going to try to go fairly quickly here. A couple of major things, and quite a few major things, actually, and then we'll get to some silliness later on, I think. But I'm not sure if I'm not sure if we have room for the silliness today. We'll see what's in the queue here. Yesterday was the 50th anniversary of Bloody Sunday in Derry, Ireland. Some of you may be familiar with that. Many of you probably only just heard the song by U2, which I'm not a fan of them at all, and you don't get any sense about that. Bloody Sunday was a historical event in Derry, which the British renamed Londonderry, in the north of Ireland. I put up for those of you who may not know, those of you who haven't followed me on integrative preparedness for quite a while, you may not know, I was involved in the Irish freedom and justice struggle for quite some time. I've put up a video put out by Sinn Féin. It's an informational video about Bloody Sunday. It's very well done. There are many lessons we can learn from Bloody Sunday and from the political struggle. The political struggle by Sinn Féin and its allies. The other struggle by the Irish paramilitaries that went on for many years that supported the political endeavors. Those, if you're here, you understand the importance of political action. And this illustrates, if you study the Irish situation, they have a lot of lessons for us. I suggest you go over and watch this documentary by Sinn Féin. I know a lot of the people who walked in that march. I don't know any of I do know actually some family members of those who were killed by the paratroopers. I know a lot of people who have been involved in the struggle since then. I've walked the streets that you see or will see in the documentary. And I was honored also. I think I put this over on Integrative Preparedness Patreon channel. I was honored to be able to go through the Free Dairy Museum, Bloody Sunday Museum, before it opened, because I was over there before it opened visiting some people. Anyway, go to that. There are many lessons in there, and I'll enjoy hearing you. And when you go over and watch it off of the Patreon channel, leave your comments. I'd love to hear them. Okay, next thing up on this, there's a new video out. Actually, it's a trailer for Dinesh D'Souza's new movie coming out this spring called 2,000 Mules. It's evidence, documentary about, um, and he says, game over. Once everybody sees this, that it's about what happened in the 2020 elections. And, he says game over. I'll probably throw that in the title of this. Is it? I don't know. We know how corrupt things are, and we know that a lot of things in the past, people should be in prison now. A lot of people should be in prison right now, and they're not going to be. But D'Souza does excellent work. I've put the link for the trailer over on Patreon. It's from Rumble. And I've noticed that there's a little bit of glitch when you try to play it out of Patreon, but if you just give it a minute, I've tried it several times, it usually finally comes up. Well worth the look. And like we've said in the past, these are the things that if you know, then you're able to share these with friends or pass these on to friends, just like I hope you pass on this video to them. And you'll pass it on to the people who may not be aware. We need to get more of those people who are unaware into our camp, understanding what's going on, and voting. Now you can say voting doesn't work, but I know that most of you on this channel understand how important the political process is, and political activism and voting. And this video really brings out things, I think, that have not been out before. We need to sway that middle ground, and that's what I'm saying. So it'll be something for you to share with your middle of the ground uninformed friends, and I look forward to watching it. They say it's going to be out this spring, so that link is already over on Patreon. The next thing I got, we talk about supporting. One of the things we need to do is support the right people running for office. I just got a message in one of my Facebook groups. There will be people who say, get off of Facebook, you can't do it. Well, you know what? The other side uses Facebook extremely well. For us not to be a part of that and not to be on that battlefield, I don't think is right. I think we need to be fighting in every case, and this is an excellent example of that. Got a message in one of the martial arts groups that I'm in from Jeff Smith. If anybody doesn't know who Jeff Smith is, and I know that a lot of people won't, if you were in martial arts seriously a long time ago, you will. He's in the group of Jim Harrison and Joe Lewis and Bill Wallace and so many of the guys back there in the first days. Mike Stone, he is one of the real deals, one of the fathers of American karate and martial arts. He has. Let's see if I can pull his post up here. Okay. He says, I would like to introduce one of my top black belts from my school who is running for Congress. And I've put a link to it. It's Hung Kao, who's running for Congress in Virginia. So I'll read just a little bit about him, and then I've put the link for his candidate website over on Patreon. Anyway, this is what Jeff says. Who's running for Congress? He has had an illustrious military career for 25 years in naval special operations. After graduating from the Naval Academy, he became one of the top underwater divers in demolition and rescue operations. He was the base commander at the Naval Diving and Salvage Training Center in Panama City, Florida, where he oversaw the training of over 4,000 special operations divers from all military branches. Please click on his bio picture and read, then scroll down. Click on his Hung Kao for Congress link to read more about this amazing black belt. Well, he sounds like he's more than an amazing black belt. It sounds like he's an amazing guy. I did have a chance. I checked out his page. Extremely accomplished person, as you can well imagine. A refugee from Vietnam after the fall of Saigon, and came over here and made the American dream his own. So check him out. make your own decisions, but I wanted to make that available. And when people like this come up who are recommended by people that we respect, I think that's what we want to do. We want to put that out and let people know about it. Also, interestingly, I was talking just a couple of weeks ago to Zombie Farmer. If you all are from, I know that a lot of people over on Integrated Preparedness, pretty much everybody is familiar with Zombie Farmer. I don't know how many people here on American Reversion are, but I was talking to him on the phone maybe a week ago, maybe two. I don't know. Time gets away from me. But he told me that he is considering, now he's running for a local office coming up. However, there's the possibility that a new U.S. congressional seat may be coming open down there, and he's considering that. So I'll let you know more about that in the future. But, if you want something to do with your money to participate in the fight, beyond, joining Patreon with us or whatever, these guys can always use money. And money is what drives the political animal, and they can use it. And so if you're looking for a place to spend your money in the fight, might take a look at these guys. Okay, and the next thing's coming up. The big brouhaha over at Spotify, over Joe Rogan and Neil Young. Well, apparently, Spotify has lost a whole bunch of money, $4 billion, I think, in market value since Neil Young came out and stomped his little foot and said that he wanted all his stuff taken off of Spotify because of Joe Rogan's so-called misleading medical information. Spotify, whatever. They've kind of folded. And Rogan came out with a statement that I don't know if I'll get to or not. I thought it was kind of unfortunate. But anyway, I said to myself, well, who cares, right? I mean, who the heck is Neil Young? I don't never liked him very much. I liked his song Ohio, and like I think I said the other day, Cinnamon Girl. But apparently he's a bigger deal than I thought. And then Joni Mitchell, who I thought, I haven't heard of her in 40 years, she came out and said, yeah, pull my stuff off too. And I guess it's having an effect. Like I say, they're a publicly traded company, Spotify. I should say something about public trade too. I didn't know that, but I found out. And their stock's running about $176 a share, but they've lost about $4 billion, like I said, in market value since this. However, this just came out. How about this? In an interview with Melody Maker magazine during the height of the AIDS crisis, Young, that'd be Neil Young, the Footstopper, spoke favorably of then President Ronald Reagan and blamed homosexuals for the spread of the disease, invoking an anti-gay slur while remarking, quote, you go to a supermarket and you say an F it, I won't say the word, but behind the effing cash register. You don't want him to handle your potatoes. Well, that's Neil Young. I wonder what will happen when this comes out. Will the luster on his star amongst the libs start to tarnish? Well, they can stretch themselves and bend themselves in all different directions if it suits their purpose. Look how they've overlooked the racist background of our moron in chief, right? Okay, so that's about Neil Young, and it'll be interesting to see what that comes out. Now the Canadian, whatever you call him up there, I've heard him referred to as Trudeau. Trudeau, is that right? Anyway, the soy boy, who apparently enough Canadians, and you Canadians, man, I mean, you guys, I love you guys. Many of you. I know there's a lot of them up there that you all would rather not be associated. But Canada, right? I mean, home of the Mounties and lumberjacks and rugged independence and things like this. How did you get so many soy boys and girls up there? I mean, is it the cold? Because I would think the cold, it should make you tough. I wouldn't want to live up there. But it just seems that cold weather must do something to too many brains. Look at Canada and Minnesota and Michigan and place like that. Um, I'm sorry for you all who are good, strong, hardcore folks. But Trudeau, apparently, he stood up and said he was tough, about this truckers strike. All the truckers are coming across Canada, and they're going into, is it Ottawa, your capital? I apologize. I should know this, and I think I'm right. But feel free, Canadians, feel free to make your comments here. I assure you that nothing I say is meant to be disrespectful in any way. And you can know that that's sincere, because I really don't care about offending people. I'll say what I think. But anyway, apparently these freedom truckers are headed to Ottawa over, they're protesting the mandates. And he was very tough sounding. I think he said these fringe people with unacceptable views, or unacceptable. I love that. It's right up there with I'm uncomfortable. So anyway, he was very tough there. Have you ever watched that guy? I mean, he makes me cringe, just the way he moves, the way he sits in a chair, the look on his face, that little hangdog baby victim. Who in the world up there elected him? We need to find a place to ship all your libs to along with ours, and we'd have two great countries here that are very much alike. Anyway, it turns out that he first said, "Oh, I have COVID. I've been diagnosed with COVID, so I'm going to be in quarantine for 5 days, right? So I won't be there when the truckers get there." There's some good news on that too. So 5 days. Well, of course, his 5 days is gearing out. And so now we find that he's in hiding somewhere. And apparently there's evidence to show that he's in hiding down here in the United States. Oh, Trudeau. I just got something sent from one of my people with a screenshot of some conversation on some social media. I can't verify it, but it says something to the effect, there's been a lot of financial support being drummed up for the truckers up there. Good for them. And I was talking to one of our nephews the other day, who's a truck driver, and he says, yeah, he's hearing that there's plans for something here. But anyway, so there's been a lot of financial support for them, and this social media post that was sent to me said that the truckers are saying they've got enough money to stay in Ottawa. Now, I don't know this to be true, but if it's true, it's great that they can stay. They can keep their trucks in Ottawa for 2 to 4 years. Oh, man. Is that not the kind of civil disobedience and civil uprising that we need? It's gonna, without the trucks running, people are going to run short on things, and that's, that is tough. And I don't at all wish, hard times on people, but this is the way that you change government. You put pressure on it, and it's a lot better than taking to the bang bangs, right? And finally, maybe you will bring them to their knees. So good for you, up there, you guys driving those trucks on those cold, snow-covered roads. I used to watch Ice Road Truckers. Y'all ever watch that? Now, Kelly and I would lay in bed and watch that. Maybe that was too much information. Kelly will say, "Why are you telling?" No, but she said it too. We used to drive routes, and so we were drivers for a while, not over the road semi, but we had a job where we drove a lot, and so driving was kind of interesting to us. And we would lay there and watch the Ice Road Truckers and go, "Oh wow!" There's something fascinating about that. I think first off, there's something fascinating about watching cold when you're warm, and then watching people out there doing things when you're, that are uncomfortable when you're comfortable. Maybe that's it. Okay, so good for you guys up there. Okay, another thing here. What are we doing on time here? Okay. Well, another company to stay away. Oh, that reminds me. I'll try to come back to it. Something that I forgot. This brought it back to mind. T-Mobile. T-Mobile, and we have T-Mobile for now, but we will be changing. They have just announced that they're going to fire most unvaccinated employees, by April 2nd. This is J.D. Rucker, comes out of the Gateway Pundit. I'm going to read just a little bit here. According to the article, T-Mobile, an American wireless network partly owned by German telecommunications company Deutsche Telekom, sent out an intimidating email to its employees on Friday stating that those who do not become fully vaccinated by April 2nd will be terminated from their job. According to the email, this is even though the Supreme Court said you don't have to, and companies, private companies can do what they want. And then their customers can also do what they want, and this is how the game is played. According to the email obtained by TGP, employees who fail to show proof of first vaccination by February 21st will be placed on unpaid leave. Employers who do not become fully vaccinated and obtain a magenta pass. I guess that's the color of T-Mobile, right? Magenta. Kind of makes me glad that I'm going to be switching to another carrier, magenta. Will be terminated by April 2nd. Here's their, I guess this is their statement. Employees who have not yet taken action to receive their first dose and upload proof by February 21st will be placed on unpaid leave. Affected employees who do not become fully vaccinated and obtain a magenta pass by April 2nd will be separated from T-Mobile. Those employees who have a pending or approved medical or religious accommodation or state-specific exemption through the HR process are excluded from this action for the duration of their pending or approved accommodation or exemption. However, mobile experts at T-Mobile stores who are more at risk for getting COVID are not required to get vaccinated. That makes total sense, doesn't it? Like everything else in this. Okay. And of course, we're getting here. If you used a lot of the comments, if you use T-Mobile, cancel your service and leave them out. I agree. That's what we are going to do. We've been with T-Mobile. Since we've been married, I had Verizon at one time, and we were deciding. I had Verizon, Kelly had T-Mobile. We were just, as you do when you get married, okay, which one should we go with? We'll go to the family plan. And she really liked T-Mobile better than I happen to like Verizon. So we went with T-Mobile. We've got a bunch of phones on T-Mobile. It just makes me cringe every time I see that bill. But, we won't be with them much longer. And not sure who we'll go with, but I'll talk about that probably in another one. So all you T-Mobile people, that might be the next thing you want to think about voting with your dollars. That's about it. That reminded me, we had talked about Carhartt last week. I did a couple of things after I put up that, and we found out the Duluth Trading Company, which I love their stuff. Does not, and I think I told you, I talked to one of the head guys at Duluth, and he said, no, we're not requiring the vaccine. And now he couldn't promise that they wouldn't sometime in the future, because you can't promise that stuff, but as of now, they are not. And so we had a real backlash both here and on integrative preparedness. I'm done with Carhartt. Well, I was never a Carhartt person to begin with, but I did two things. First off, I ordered a bunch of their pants and I bought a bunch of their stock because, that's the thing. And I'm not telling you all what to do. I'm not giving you financial advice. But when you have, now Carhartt is not publicly traded, but Duluth is. And you can look it up on NASDAQ or anything. And when you have a major player in the field that is going to have a major boycott against them and lose a major segment of their customer base and sales, and you're going to see that when the figures for the first quarter come out, and you're going to see Duluth skyrocket. When you have a major player, maybe the major player in your field, take a hit like that, you're going to do very well, meaning Duluth. So that's just what I have done. Do what you want. Leave it there for now. I have 9 million things to do today, but and I'm sure you all do too. But I wanted to cover these things again. Take a look at the Bloody Sunday info-doc, whatever, over on Patreon if you'd like. There are many lessons in that. And I've covered some of those lessons in the past over on integrative preparedness. I know that I'll be covering them again here on American Reversion, but watching this will give you some background for it. And then maybe I'll give you down the road some personal. And I'll probably put them on Patreon. A lot of that probably shouldn't be talked about here on YouTube. But maybe I'll give you some personal stories and insights and things like that. And then go check out Hung Pals for Congress. See if that's something that you would like to support. And that trailer, Dinesh D'Souza's trailer, about 2,000 mules. And with that, I will leave you. I wish you a good day. Thank you again for being here. Pass this on. Give it a thumbs up, a like, a comment. Make sure that you're subscribed and share this with your friends. I see that the channel is growing, and I really appreciate that. And if you'd like to support us, you can do so by I'll put the link to the Patreon down here below, and you can join us over there. So again, thank you very much. Remember that America needs a reversion. It needs you to be a part of it. It needs you to get other people to be a part of it. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.